right, so my name is Leslie Ann, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I do a lot of portraits, I do a lot of self-portraits, and I do portraits for other people as well, like with commissions, but most of the time it's portraits of myself, sometimes portraits of my kids. But yeah, that's my passion, just kind of encapsulating emotions and getting into I just like the face a lot. I always knew I was creative, but I was expressing that in a lot of different ways. Art, it just seemed hidden until I just started sketching, and it took me probably maybe 5 years before I wanted to show it or really put it out there more. I've had a lot of gaps in my career, so initially I was showing in Virginia because that's where I was living at the time. I was only doing acrylic painting. I just taught myself just out of curiosity, and it felt like a really good way to just express myself. I was actually working at UVA Hospital. I had all these pencil drawings all over my desk area, and I was a registrar, so it was patients coming to me all the time. And that was the first thing of oh, people like this. And then people would ask me to do commissions and stuff. The more and more I got kind of affirmations from other people that they also enjoyed what I was doing, then I was like, okay, let me share this more. Maybe not as much now, but there really felt like so much of a stigma with digital artists to where I wanted to be sure I knew how to do my stuff outside of it so that people wouldn't not think I was credible or something. I really felt like that was a thing. So I'm like, well, people, you can see that I know how to paint, or you can see that this or that. So when I'm doing my digital stuff, I just didn't want it to come into question of my skills. It just felt like a new skill set on top of another one. And then mixing them together felt authentic because I wanted to be able to still showcase some sort of painting skill and have just different dimensions so that the pieces have some texture and my hand on it outside of my digital hand. I always knew I wanted to get into digital, I just didn't have a tool. And I would try to do stuff on my computer, but it was just not coming out the same because I wasn't using any fancy programs, I was just using random stuff. So it wasn't the same at all. Procreate really changed it for me and made me feel like I could just teach myself, and I found maybe it was Skillshare or some other little classes where they'll teach you techniques and stuff. The contrast is just so good with digital, and the colors are so good with digital, and it's really easy to just manipulate things and change what you need to you can experiment, I feel like, even more because everything's there. I've always been drawn to the face though in what I'm creating. It's there's no real reason for that either. I just whenever I do my portraits, the face is always just more detailed when I'm painting it, and then the rest of it I just get more and more don't care if it's detailed at all down here. I did a lot of small works initially, but it was just because I was experimenting a lot. I feel like I've gradually gotten bigger in my scale of things. I'd even like to go bigger than that in terms of small murals. I like to think of ways I can push myself, and so that would be a stretch for me because I haven't done anything that big, but I kind of feel like the smaller ones are harder, especially if you're doing portraits, because then it's harder to get the details. I think it'll be a stretch, but it might not be. It might be wow, this is just another way. I don't think it's any particular reason that I started with acrylic, but if I could think of one, it just might be the cost, because it's just cheaper. It seems like it's easier to dive into and experiment with. Started with acrylic, and because I was just used to that, that's mostly what I stuck with. But I do have oil paint too, because of the kind of prestige or kind of air of, it's just a weirdness that goes along with that. And I really think it comes down to capitalism and people not having access to oils, and so oils became elite. It's please. So yeah, I got oils just to be let me just see what this is about too. I don't think I've ever done a full oil painting, but I would just incorporate it in there with my acrylic stuff. I tend to like pinks, blues. Yellow used to be a super favorite, but definitely pink and blue is usually there, and sometimes green, and I usually do some sort of black or white because I like the contrast, and I like to make random things black sometimes so I can add the stars and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of pinks and blues and I guess some red. Sometimes in my art, I like to do a lot of women, but if I'm doing a man, sometimes I like to have pink in there just as a kind of to say F patriarchy. like that kind of thing. So I think I use pink a lot to empower it because it is seen as a girly color, but it's just a color. I always felt like I would be doing something creative because as a child I was doing a lot of dancing and singing and scripting, like from movies that I saw. I was always like doing stuff to entertain people, so I always thought I would be an entertainer of some sort. Just something where I was using my personality or something to support myself. That's kind of what I envisioned. So this to me goes along with that. I think part of what differentiates me just visually is that I mix the digital and the traditional mediums together, and that my work is very bold to look at and super colorful. I don't see a lot of art that looks like that, like when I'm at the shows and stuff. I definitely see digital art, of course, but I just think my style is mine. I enjoy the process of actually creating something from nothing, of having an idea and seeing that eventually be something. That's really cool. That feels like magical. So that always kind of like the driving force is to be like, what can I make? And trying to kind of outdo yourself, or just think of what different ways I could put different pieces together of the stuff that I've learned over the years to try to make something new or something that feels even more dynamic or something like that. The creative part, I feel confident in that area. The business part, I'm just like, what is going on? Because I don't have support in my art career. Like I have like, yay support, but like actual doing the work with me, it's me doing the work and kind of running the business part. And that's the part that feels the most challenging, is just because I sell my art on my website and on my Etsy, and keeping up with those things, or keeping up with listings, promoting things, marketing, email lists, all the above, that's a lot to manage. Each of those can be somebody's job. I really want my art to be something that uplifts women, that uplifts Black people. So my framework and what I'm thinking of my audience is always like those people, and also like queer people. I just really want it to be something that makes people feel like they can just be themselves, or to see my stuff maybe and go, I can do whatever I want to. When I got into art, it was through Keith Haring, Basquiat, and Frida Kahlo. And Frida specifically, I really resonated with her personally in just a lot of different ways. And so she just does self-portraits. She doesn't just do self-portraits, but she did a ton of self-portraits. That's what she's known for. That's like my art mom. And so to me, it felt like a natural progression of like, I'm gonna do that too. It really came from Frida Kahlo, for sure. And because I knew that she was successful in doing that, I felt like there's nothing wrong with this. Artists can be in their art. I want more financial wins. I think I'll feel a little more successful maybe when I have a little more support, like help to where things can move outside of me. I just think success for me would be being on a slightly larger scale of my business, and then being able to support myself more with just the art. Sometimes I have to like stop and really reflect, because other people will tell me that you doing it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, for real. Like, people will come and tell me, I see you and stuff, and I'm like, okay. Okay, they see it. Like, they know that I'm working towards something, or that they think I'm already doing it, but I know where I want to go, but I still have to stop and accept and be like, this is so much growth from where I've come from. I think I'm always going to be doing something creative. And even if I'm not always trying to promote my art in the way that I am now, it will just be an evolution of it in some kind of way. Because before I thought of pursuing art like this, I was gonna go to fashion school. So it's like, I still have all these dreams of designing clothes and acting and all this stuff. So however it looks, it's gonna come out, basically. My name is Leslie Ann. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. this is my voice and this is my life.